Well, we are trying a new stream service, you see. Welcome, everyone, to Star Time, where we are trying out the free demo of Restream.io so we can stream to both Twitch and YouTube. But we have a couple of dear friends that their networks do not allow them to get to Twitch. And we haven't tried Twitch yet, so hello, Twitch. And hello again, our friends on YouTube. It's good to see you all. Welcome to Thanksgiving edition of Jagged Orbit, formerly known as Star Time. The turkey above us, we're flying in space with the Thanksgiving Strato Turkey, something that a show called The Attack did a few years back. They flew a turkey to space. Props to them. That's more ambitious than anything I think we've ever done. Have we sent anything to space? No. Okay. Jasmine, how are you doing today?
I'm great.
Are you a little starstruck by being on Twitch?
No.
No.
It's the Tranya.
The Tranya. You know, I wish we had some extra Tranya yesterday to dull the Thanksgiving discourse. Did you see everything being flooded by people just screaming about if turkey was bad or good, or stuffing, or your food is bad or your food is good, etc., etc.?
No. I was too busy cooking a 4-course meal by myself.
Oh, while you were doing all this wonderful work, I was watching people argue about the food.
It's okay. He can cook. He's just not good at it. So I told him not to cook.
I know someone that's worse at cooking Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner than you or I, though.
The cat doesn't count. He doesn't know how to cook.
That is true. We also have our sponsor this evening is the Thanksgiving discourse. Is stuffing good? Is the turkey good to eat? Is turkey bad? Who knows? But that's our sponsor. The concept of Thanksgiving food.
Yeah.
And Onyx, come on up, Bubble. Come up. Come up. Come. Yeah! You made it!
Good job.
You didn't see
love
it. That's
you.
our kitty.
He's the best.
How you doing, bud?
Oh.
He's looking at we had some problem with the lighting, so I tilted a lamp down, and he's like, what are you doing? And frankly,
He likes it up here.
We don't know what we're
smells
doing.
funny. Hi, baby. Yeah, do you want some wine? Just a little bit.
Okay, so, yeah, welcome to our world. Jasmine's apparently going to see if the cat... Don't feed the cat wine!
I'm not going to feed it. I'm going to offer it wine.
What if it takes you up on it?
And it's going to enjoy some.
Oh. Well, so far the cat has not enjoyed any wine. I don't think it can. I think alcohol is toxic to kittens and will kill them. I think. Is it?
I don't know.
Someone in chat will undoubtedly say a minute after you've said it. But anyway, we are going to chat about, we've chatted about Thanksgiving. Oh, by the way, the Thanksgiving Jasmine made extremely good. What did you make?
I made a bird and I made some stuffing and who cares? The cat's cute.
The cat is very cute. So anyway, we had a duck for Thanksgiving. I recommend it mostly because you can roast potatoes and Brussels sprouts in the duck fat.
Oh, he's leaving.
You know he's going to the pantry because we filmed this in the kitchen. Anyway, enough of us. Let's check out Space News.
Yes.
Space News! Okay. There's actually some fun space news this week. So, there's not a lot because apparently everyone's on break. Did you see that thing, the Thanksgiving message from the COVID counter from the CDC?
No.
To observe the holiday, the COVID counter will be taking a break and return on Friday. Everyone needs a break, you know? I always thought that maybe there's a lot of manual labor involved in that. It seemed like it was like a collection bot.
I think it's because they don't care anymore.
Let's hope someone does. But you know what we do care about right now on our show?
Our cat.
Where are we in the Milky Way? Our cat included. Like, where are we from the nearest black hole, the nearest galactic black hole, the one in the center of our galaxy? The answer? 2,000 light years closer than we thought we were.
Wow.
I don't know, 27, we thought we were about 27,000 light years away, now it's 25,000. It's not because we moved 2,000 light years closer recently. It is, there were some new measurements done by a Japanese radio telescope. Thank you for patting me on the back in a very condescending manner.
I was trying to be affectionate, actually.
I'm an asshole. I'm
Because
sorry.
I like I really like him a lot.
That's gross. Don't say stuff like that. Ew! I want to talk about radio telescopes.
He's embarrassed of our love.
If y'all are going to do a raid on us on the Twitch stream, you might as well just do it now and end it.
He's so cute. Continue. You're doing a good job.
Well, what's probably cute is the array that they use of radio telescopes that Japan used to find these jacks that did this observation. Anyway, it's a string of radio telescopes called Vera, like Norm's wife from Cheers. People over 40. Woo, we know what Cheers is. Woo, people under 40. I don't know what that is. That's what my parents want to do when we go to Boston, is go to the Cheers bar, whatever that is. Isn't that what Frasier's from?
It's basically like worse than a Chili's.
I'm fond of Chili's.
Yeah, well, this is not
That was the before times.
And they charge you way
Chili's
more.
to go in the Oakland airport.
Yeah, but that's not Chili's, technically.
Chili's 2.
Yeah, that's not technically a Chili's. It's all owned by the same company. It's a secret, folks. That's why they charge you more.
Anyway, if you're on your way to the black hole in the center of the galaxy, know that you're at least 2,000 light years closer now, and that right now the Chili's 2 is closed. Sunday evening, Monday morning, you might have heard that there's going to be an eclipse of the moon. It sucks shit. Don't bother staying up for it.
Yeah. He's just touching things he shouldn't.
The cat.
Referring to the cat, not David under the desk.
The eclipse is not great. It's called a penumbral. There's a diagram here. You can see what it is. Basically, it just means that you can see the umbra part right in the center. That's when you get the total eclipse part, when all of the moon passes into that part of our shadow. It's called the umbra. Since when the edge of the shadow, like if you look at a shadow of yourself, there's like kind of like a feathery outside of it. If you got multiple lighting or something, say, it's easier to see it then. That's the penumbra. So the moon, most of it is passing through the penumbra, which means some of it might get a little darker on one end, but it's not going to be blood red. It'll just look kind of faint. It'll be an interesting thing if you're taking like a time-lapse photo of it, if you got a tracker. It'll be kind of like, ooh, look at that. It got a little, but not super amazing. So you can skip it. You're not missing much. It's also cold at 4:43 a.m. Eastern time is when the peak of this is. The peak, meaning you'll see it a little dimmer on one end of the moon. If I'm up, I might take a peek out of professional curiosity, but yeah, you're not missing much.
Just don't leave the cat out.
Yeah, don't leave the cat out.
Don't let it out.
Because it'll transform in an eclipse?
I don't want him bothering the deer.
Oh. Yeah, the deer are. The cat is fascinated by the deer walking by the. We know when a deer is walking by because it flaps its tail. Anyway, this is not Onyx time. This is Space News. Dude, you know what this like neat little getup is here?
It's a speculum.
No.
I don't know what it is.
It's a render of a new space cleanup project. A little thing taking a piece of rocket to deorbit it. The European Space Agency is working with some company called Clear Space to do a space junk cleanup study. And this is their first target is like when you eject satellites out of a rocket, a lot of times there's like the materials you use to eject them kind of remain in orbit, some depending on how you do it. And this was called a payload adapter. I think it's literally something that just sticks the satellite into the rocket safely. So sometimes it doesn't deorbit properly, and this did not. And it's 112 kilograms and a pretty big thing. They'd like to knock it out. So it's a big, sturdy piece of equipment, so you can attach to it and knock it down, not worry about it splitting in two or a bunch of pieces breaking up and doing it. It's like a first step to see if they can do this safely. The next step is, wondering about more stuff, because in the radiation of space, stuff flakes off, screws can pop out with the temperature changes from nighttime to daytime around the Earth and all that kind of stuff. So trying to do the safest thing first, then get into like little bits of things that are broken off and stuff like that next. So it's kind of the idea there. Apparently Curiosity rover has found some evidence that there was a big old mega flood on Mars about 4 billion years ago, possibly triggered by a meteor impact.
Wait, is this not Earth?
No! Why did you think it was Earth, though?
Sky's blue.
Exactly. That color is not what Mars' sky normally is. That's not what it would look like to our eyes there, but the sky is colored blue here because this is a processed image from NASA. And they, in the process of processing the photo to bring out detail in these, you see how these are, you can really make out the lines and all these rocks here. They process it to bring out the lines more, but in the same process, they made it blue looking more. They reduced the red basically in the image and orange.
Looks like Arizona.
We can reduce the color on our own stream. Look.
Oh, I look like a... No, do it again.
Do it again.
I look like a noir character.
Noir?
Noir, yes. And the lip color I have, like, really looks good in this, so I'd say leave it. If we did... Oh.
Well, we can play with more later. Like, I want to do more studio effects at some point.
If we did it black and white, all I would have to do is wear lipstick, I think, and get away with it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh. I think we have, like, one more piece of space news. So anyway, there's a bunch of flooding on Mars. This is just interesting because it was way in the beginning, and it seems to show that there might be something going on with, you know, just life on Mars in general. The more water and warmth was on the surface earlier, and if there's a whole bunch unleashed early on, that might have helped speed along the process if there was life on Mars and when it developed. Because on Earth, it looks like life developed real quickly after solid rock started forming. So Mars is theoretically might have been a little earlier than Earth because it might have cooled down a little quicker. Which is funny because that's something that I think it's even in the War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. He says that, and that's like 1890s planetary formation theory, and it's kind of not far off, really, it seems, which is kind of funny.
Good on him.
Yeah, it's a lucky guess, kind of. I mean, there's also guessed that there'd be crab people at the end of the world with a big, massive sun. That was entirely another guess that he got correct. He doesn't know the process by which the sun got massive. So that just means the crab people. He got 2 out of 3. Seems like the crab people probably going to be real, too.
Sweet.
Crab people. At the end of the world, baby. This is kind of fun.
He looks like a ball.
It looks like a ball? What looks like
I would love to go there.
You know what this is?
The moon.
No. What it is near-ish Earth is the asteroid Ryugu. Ryugu. And it was visited last year, I believe, by the space probe Hayabusa 2, which is another Japanese space agency project. And you can see it up there. It's the TIE fighter-looking silhouette in the top. That's actually the craft. I think it's ascending from getting a sample from the surface of Ryugu. It's actually coming by in another week and a half. It's going to it's going to drop off the sample that it got as it swings by Earth, and it's going to land in somewhere in Australia. Things love landing somewhere in Australia in space. And they're going...
It doesn't hurt any koalas.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, honestly, it would be horrifying if it's landing in the middle of Australian fire season, right? It'd be horrible if it just triggered a fire. Oh, it probably won't. I mean, it's in the outback. They kind of know where it's going to be right when it's going to land.
And then it triggers like some sort of zombie apocalypse due to space dust getting into the atmosphere.
That would be funny if it turned out the space virus turned out to be a real thing and we bring it after all these years.
Honestly, at this point, it'd be a relief if that happened.
But,
just because we feel like it's coming, right?
But, you know, it's funny. If this probe drops off the space virus, will it suffer with the rest of us? No. Because it is not actually stopping by Earth. It's dropping off a package while it's continuing on.
That's actually how it happened in George A. Romero's film.
I thought it was a crashed probe from Venus.
No, it just dipped into the atmosphere, man.
Oh, okay.
It did the same thing.
Cool.
So...
Well, let's hope that things get more fun.
Interesting, and it will be fun. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Truth be told, if zombies were to actually happen, it'd be super boring because
it would be horrible. Are you kidding?
The bodies would like deteriorate. Also, especially if it's like in America,
zombies just aren't going to happen. I mean, they're made up monsters.
Are not healthy anyway, so we'd be able to outrun them.
Just stay in the attic and pull up the ladder. You're fine. You eat ramen for a couple weeks and then they rot. the end.
Some MREs I've been wanting to get
What is
into
it?
those.
I could not stick with The Walking Dead for very long. Doesn't it eventually just get into the point where it is just the people fighting with each other because the zombies are no longer a real threat because they're all rotten?
No, the zombies are still a threat, but it's basically towards the end, it's like, how do we rebuild society while we're fighting with one another? And zombies are still there.
Oh, okay.
Like, people are still getting infected and stuff, but they're just actually starting to get, like, societies and, like, cities are coming back, or sort of, you know.
Okay.
If you're into the lore, I stopped with the comic books, honestly.
You gotta talk a little louder, sorry.
I stopped with the comic books after it got, like, super right-wingy on the TV show, and so, you know.
And I think the comics, I'm not sure if they're as right-wingy or not. But the
not
TV show
remember.
definitely became, like, the MAGA show.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
in the comic book, it's really more just about people, like, and it's less about, like, rebuilding society or even coming up with answers.
Well, how long did you read the comic though?
Like a season.
I mean, yeah. See.
So I mean, who knows? I don't know.
I don't know. I actually, from what I remember, I like the writer, but then again, liking a comic writer is just like waiting for like news that they've done a sex crime.
Honestly, just stick to like Max Brooks and World War Z, the book, not the movie.
Movie's fun in its own way.
It's just not the book.
The
book is like way better.
But anyway, let's.
And that's enough for Jasmine and Dave's zombie time.
Speaking of food, let's talk about space food. Do you know what? So you're actually a culinary professional.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about space food? The challenges thereof.
I know there's Tranya.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's space weasel.
Mm-hmm.
I know that in some forms of the universe there is like this big international, like, intergalactic Denny's where you can have like a pan-galactic gargle blaster, and there's like buffets where like the meat will actually welcome you to eat it because it's consensual consumption, which is a new theory. And then there's also the blue milk from those weird creatures on the space planet in Star Wars. The blue milk is because most likely it feeds off of algae.
So anyway, in real space food news, none of that's real. No, I don't know that is real.
How do you know? There's like all these planets out there, and you don't think that there's some sort of like space Denny's where they're like drinking blue milk? And some lady with like 3
Is this going to be one of those arguments where, in theory, in an infinite universe with infinite possibilities, Goku's real kind of bullshit?
Probably. It might be not the Goku that you know. Like, it could be a man named Goku.
No.
But he doesn't have powers.
Let's discuss the real space food now, then.
I think he's afraid of the truth.
The truth is that space food sucks, and it's terrible and gross to eat, and after 50 years of development, it's still not very good. This is the best you could hope for, and this isn't really space food. This is just some kind of weird jelly that you get in a box of treats that's supposed to make you not hungry.
And help your skin.
And speaking of not hungry, when you're in space, you apparently don't... Your hunger is all fucked up. Well, it's like, this food, you want it to be spicier? Like, spicier and saltier because your sense of smell is all jacked up. Because of being weightless. Like, your senses are all off, I guess. So, and also the food just sucks. It needs to be preserved for months and months.
I mean, that happens to a lot of military people who, like, survive off of MREs for more than a year.
Oh, you mean like Steve 1989 MRE info?
Or like my dad who served in Vietnam. Yes.
Oh, you had a favorite MRE?
No.
No,
it was the 70s, so all that stuff was bad.
Like this, this early Apollo meal. This was the turkey sandwich meal, one of the preferred meals because it was one of the least foul, apparently.
I mean, I can see why. It looks mostly remotely close to a sandwich.
Yeah, it's turkey salad. The thing is, I think the salad aspect's good because it's congealed. Mm-hmm. It stays in one piece. You don't like to have little bits fly around like your Homer eating chips.
I'm surprised they didn't get more than that.
I think, space sickness and pooping.
Well, like, I'm thinking calorie intake.
For Apollo, I think this was for Apollo, and it was basically they just needed to be fed for like a week and a half. I think.
Yeah, but they had to have those reserves just in case.
Well, I mean, they had a few. I mean, there's also Air Force guys, and who knows how loaded all this was with like other fats and stuff. We're not getting a good perspective on how big this is. Like, I'm assuming the bread pieces are the standard size of bread. So that's actually a lot of turkey salad. if those are standard bread slices.
I don't know if
That's
that
probably
would
two
be.
sandwiches worth.
I'm kind of wondering what's up with that bread.
Well, yeah, I mean, the spoon looks bigger than it should be for the bread pieces.
No, but like crumbs, dude.
Well, anyway. Yeah, well, that's the thing. A lot of the space food is, like, weird because it might be, like, a cracker. Or, because actually, for the early missions, they weren't keeping the spacecraft around very long. And they weren't filled with as many delicate electronics, so stuff like that could slide more. Crumbs were a concern, but not as big as you'd think. But when you're living in a space station, crumbs become a real big fucking concern, which is why you don't eat crackers in bed unless you're very careful and spread a napkin underneath the crackers first.
I try not to do it, but if he brings the nice cheese to bed, I'm gonna do it.
Anyway, this is like the height of dining in an Apollo capsule. Let's see. But the favorite was apparently this packet of turkey and gravy. This was like the standard issue. Deliciousness. Which is what. Then actually, so I thought that there was like a turkey dinner, like that the Apollo astronauts had at Thanksgiving. I was mixing it up with their Christmas thing. There was an Apollo mission that did have Thanksgiving, and it was 12. And those are the guys in quarantine right now. So they had Thanksgiving in quarantine, as maybe some of us have had this past year.
Wow, relatable.
Right? That's just like hopefully I can visit my grandma at some point in the nursing home. Hi. But yeah, they apparently they had their turkey dinner, which was maybe this inside of the USS Hornet little closed area. But get this is a funny thing. Apparently there's audio of this. Astronauts complaining about the quality of food in their space mission. Just grumbling about it.
Is this the cat?
The computer made a weird noise. I don't like that. Good thing I ordered more cooling fans today for Black Friday.
That sounded like the devil coming out. That was weird. That was not normal.
Yeah, no, that sounds like the computer's gonna make an expensive error.
I feel bad that I blame the cat, though.
Yeah.
He's probably sleeping behind us right now.
Yeah, I know. But, so they were complaining about their meals. And so they were complaining about they were complaining that this is what they got to eat for their, like, Christmas meal in, like, Apollo 8 when they like basically orbited the moon and came back. And Mission Control was like, yeah, we know the meal is not exactly inspiring, but why don't you look in the bottom of your food compartment? And they did, and I don't have a picture of it, but apparently they had wrapped a little present in foil and like green and red string, and it was an actual like turkey dinner that they packed.
That's cute.
Yeah, apparently they packed it in some way where it was like sanitary and could be eaten, like it was still yummy.
Wow.
Better than this.
That's so nice.
Or that. So yeah, so they got to, so they probably had a version of that too. I hope. But apparently the first like Thanksgiving dinner that astronauts had proper in space was on Skylab 3. And Skylab is one of my favorite things that never gets mentioned anymore. It was also famous for knocking itself into Australia. But
not to be confused with its partner C-Lab.
Yeah,
which is
there's a lot of labs. C-Lab's still around? The actual C-Lab?
Yes.
Really?
I mean, it is. We're approaching 2021.
No, there was an actual underwater laboratory. Anyway,
I know. I watched SeaQuest 2. It was really cool. There was a talking dolphin.
Anyway, the thing I love about Skylab was just, this is like the last stage of like a rocket that a Saturn V that's just so big. They're like, let's just open up the inside and that's the space station. And I think it still might have more livable space than the International Space Station. And they just got it up in one shot. But because of the sun got active, and actually there's a new sunspot around the sun, because it's starting to get more active again. The pressure from the sun's like solar storms and I'm mixing up. There was a solar minimum, and so the atmosphere puffed out, and the drag kicked Skylab down a bit quicker than they thought. I think that's how it goes, but you can always look that up yourself, folks. So they had an actual dinner table. They don't even have that on the space station now. This is the And I love the old art. I normally wouldn't put the art up, but Orbital Workshop Wardroom Table. That's their table. And you can see like their little footrests and stuff right here and everything. So they could actually like just literally clamp themselves in. You had like space for their legs to slip through, you know, just to kind of hold them up so they could all sit around and be like pretend like they're eating face up facing each other like at a Thanksgiving or at a table for dinner. It's very funny. They also had like a shower. Like Skylab was all about pretending like they were on Earth, but just in like a weird, they just didn't have gravity. So there was like a weird shower thing that they had. They do not have that now. Stuff like that.
You have to take a whore bath.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
I doubt that they call that at least on the public radio there. But anyway, here's a shot of an astronaut at the dinner table. And I actually found a little treat for it. Wait, not that one. Yeah!
Oh, I remember this video. It's cute.
Yeah, so you can actually see them getting together and eating the food. And it's huge. So Skylab is also stacked kind of, if you're going to assign an up-down, left-right kind of thing to it, it's a big tube. So everyone is going back and forth through the tube. So you'll see them enter and exit this field.
Do they have like magnetic feet or something?
No, but they clamp themselves in with the clamps you saw in that thing earlier. So their feet clamp in. They don't have magnetic shoes, I don't believe. It might have been something they tried out, but not in this part here. But it's weird because they're clamping themselves up, and you notice that everything that they're eating is like clamped down or stuck onto something. So, you know, it's oddly like normal looking. It just looks like there's some guys eating on a research vessel or something on Earth, which technically I guess it is a research vessel. But yeah. So, Thanksgiving and Skylab. There you go. Yeah. So they're working all the time, so he's even taking notes as they're eating. I think this was a Thanksgiving dinner. This could have just been a regular meal. Also, this is being offered by a stock footage company for $200, which is some bullshit. Because this is public domain. You shouldn't charge for this shit. Especially a third party, motherfucker. Anyway. So, with that, I'll get off my copyright high horse. So, but now we have the new space station, and they've had Thanksgivings there since, because it's been 20 years of the space station, and it's 20 years of people living on the space station full time. So the first Thanksgiving on the space station was back in the year 2000 on the modern International Space Station. This is a couple of Russian astronauts. Their picture taken by their American comrade in orbit, and they put a little turkey up. They're all enjoying a turkey meal, and people are like, well, why are the Russians having Thanksgiving? It's like, the American astronaut's like, and I'm sorry I forgot his name. I didn't write it down in my notes. He's like, we celebrate each other's holidays all the time, which makes sense. You're stuck up there with everyone. Why not enjoy everyone's holidays? Why does it be just American? Have an American, have the Russian, you know, Anzac Day, whatever. Yeah. So, and yeah, this is a newer picture from a more recent mission. You can see they do have like a little some little table kind of area, but they mostly just sort of, it's more freeform, and they just kind of float around and look at stuff. Also, are they watching Saturday Night Live in the background on laptops?
That looks, yeah, that's definitely Kristen Wiig and
Yeah.
that other guy, I forget his name.
Yeah.
Fred Armisen.
Okay. Well, there we go. We zoomed on their pictures. Yeah, but this is what they're eating as of like 2013. This is their Thanksgiving meal packet.
That looks legit.
It's not bad. I mean, it's like it's either rehydrated food, and they actually just stick a packet that actually does look a lot like this into a hydrator, and you switch hot or cold water to put it in, or they just have what's called a thermally stabilized food or something. Shoot, I forget the name, but it's just, you know, food that's made to eat at room temperature. That's like you open up a can of tuna. That's the same thing.
You wouldn't do that in space.
You would, but there wouldn't be the water in it. Well, actually, I don't know.
What about the smell?
Your sense of smell, that's why it is. Your sense of smell basically goes away in space.
That's sad.
I think your sinuses get blocked up, and that's why everything is extra salty. So, if you were worried about nonstick versus, or salted versus unsalted butter yesterday for preparing the duck skin, in their case, it'd be like, they would just roll it in salt. Like, and you might taste something. Yeah, so that's why you can't taste stuff very good in space. Your sinuses are all jacked up. Yeah. So, but to conclude, because I had the big thing that came out of all this though is that quietly there is a standard called the HACCP standard, which was developed by NASA when they were trying to make food for the Apollo mission to last for the duration of going around the moon and back. Because even though you were concerned they didn't get enough food in that packet.
I wasn't concerned. I was just like surprised.
Yeah. So actually, let's bring it back. Yeah. So in developing stuff like this, they didn't just look at is the food that we made good right now. Is they every step of the process they looked at it and were like, well, how can germs get in here? How can some spoiled stuff get in? You're washing the vegetables here, but we noticed you're using this runoff water from your field, which the animals are pooping in. Maybe we should wash it off with well water or municipal water that does not have the poopy in it. Stuff like that. Oh, I noticed you're chopping stuff up, you're butchering it here, but the knives aren't being sanitized routinely. It's pretty clean, but could be cleaner. Why don't we just sanitize constant? And so yeah, basically it's called Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point, HACCP. So it's kind of like every step of the way constantly looking at it. Giving a whole generation of food safety consultants jobs. Yes, people complain. You know, the people that complain about stuff like that will complain about it. Frankly, thank God. We still get food poisoning, but it's a lot less than we used to get. So, and it's all from space stuff, which is kind of wild. It's just because two of the guys that developed it, one was an Air Force officer. I wrote it down. And the other guy worked as at Pillsbury in product development or something. The names are Paul LeChance and Howard Bauman. And yeah, so I was like, well, how did I get back to industry? Pillsbury guy. So yeah, and then other companies started being like, oh, we're having issues, and someone else like, oh, the Phil from Pillsbury or Howard from Pillsbury, forget which guy, he has a thing he did with NASA, you know, and then it's like, oh, really? And then they just kind of rolled out this process to maintain food safety. So thank you, NASA, for wanting to have the astronauts have Thanksgiving. So now we, as a weird trickle-down consequence, actually have safer food.
Diarrhea in 0G would be bad.
Is bad. It happens a lot.
Cool.
We were having an old people's conversation the other day about how it's harder to ride amusement park rides. The swinging around and getting dizzy, and then like dipping up and down for 0G stuff. Like that's astronaut training. Imagine you can't turn that off, and that's just you're living like that, and now you gotta eat some food. It's either gonna go up, come up, or out one of two ways, and I hear something getting pushed around. Okay. It sounds like the kitty's up to something.
Yeah, like something he shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. Mr.
Where?
Kitty.
Where is he?
I don't know.
I just hope nothing is getting broken again.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go check on the cat. But thank you so much for joining us on our talk about food and food safety today. This is a trip. It looks like this dual stream thing works out all right. So yeah. You got anything to add? No, not today. No, doing a show this Sunday or no?
No, I'm still taking time off because it is the holiday. I'm using this as an opportunity. Honestly, it's busy.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna next week I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the stream because I've got to do a stream for work for like a week straight. Oh wow! Maybe it's not a stream; it's zooming constantly.
Maybe I'll do something next week to make up for it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, just because of the holidays, and we're getting ready for Christmas and stuff like that, we decided to take a break.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, so we're just chilling out. That's why I just kind of did this last minute thing to be like, I wanted to test out doing Twitch at the same time, frankly. So that was fun. Yeah, we've just been on for a few minutes, and we're gonna head out. This is a lot of fun, folks. Lightly attended. I hope you're all passed out. Having a good time. Have some edibles. Watch a whole bunch of Star Trek.
Drink some
or whatever
wine.
it is you want. Yeah, just have a good time. Anyway, I guess we'll just go back to our main page here. Yeah, you know what? Watch some old Mr. Bean. I guess the sexiest man alive. And stuff that turkey, folks. And I'll put some of these links into our details on the YouTube page. And yeah, stay safe.
Bye.
Bye. I'll see you later. And then we do the awkward and we fade out like this, and then we go.